Hi class. I know it's been a while since you've probably done anything art related. It's probably been all summer. I hope that online classes are going well for you and that even though you don't get the chance to experience an in-person art class, that this will at least help you to still enjoy and have fun and inspire you to still have fun at home. I know it's difficult being stuck at home and socially distancing and stuff, but you're doing great. And well, I'll explain a little bit about what we're doing today. So, today I thought I'd start off with something that should be fairly simple. It's not going to be anything that you don't have around the house. It's just a lot of materials that you should just have at home anyway. So, what we're going to use today is I'm just using plain printer paper. I can explain a couple different methods you can also use, but the easiest and what everyone should definitely have is printer paper. Otherwise, you can use what's called wax paper, and I made an example with wax paper. That gives you just like a different result. And then you can use markers, you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils. In today's demonstration, I'll be using crayons because I'm pretty sure everyone has crayons, and just they're very easy to clean up and stuff. So you're gonna wanna find a table or a clipboard or something, or just something hard. Just because it's not very easy to draw or color or anything without having a table. And then once you have what you want to use, then I can kind of start explaining that we're going to do today. So today we're going to be coloring our own scene, but it's going to be a little bit different. So the inspiration for this idea was I was driving by and I saw some very nice, beautiful stained glass windows. And I thought, those are really fun. They're kind of like a coloring book almost. And so I thought, why don't we make our own coloring pages / our own stained glass windows? So that's where the wax paper can kind of come in, or if you have very thin printer paper like I have, you can use, and when you color and everything, just make sure, like if you're coloring with the crayons, not to be too thick with it, because you can actually like cut these out and then hang them on the window, and then the light will kind of shine through, which I think is really fun. So they're kind of like a window catcher, if you've ever done those or seen those. Otherwise, yes, like a stained glass window. So I thought it would be really fun in a way to kind of brighten up the space and everything to kind of make these. So that's my intro. So why don't we just jump right in? So for today's scene, I decided that I'm gonna go personally with like a aquatic based theme, but first I want to kind of draw out how I want my window, so we'll start with that. You can just kind of follow along with me, or you can go at your own pace. I'm just gonna kind of start out by sketching some arcs, so we kind of have would be like our panels for the stained glass. They don't have to be perfect lines. We're gonna come over them with like a marker, just because like if you've ever seen stained glass, they have those nice metal lines in between it to kind of solder the glass together. And so the lines are very dark and thick, which helps hide a lot of stuff. So, don't worry about being too rough with your pencil. And don't worry about if they're even or not. Just have fun with it. If you want to make like a circle, if you don't want to have a window, it's totally up to you what you want to do. Just for the sake of this, I'm going to be making it window shaped, but I can also quickly make another demonstration showing like not a window shape. I'll show a different shape next. But we'll just start working on sketching this out quick. Okay, now that I have my shape, I can start to draw in my creatures. So since I decided I wanted a sea scene, I'm going to start drawing in my creatures. I'm going to draw in some fish, some sea life. Honestly, just have fun with it. You don't have to do sea life. You can do whatever you want. In my example, I made a flower. I did like flowers. And then in a different example, I did fish again. I personally just really like fish, but it's totally up to you if you want to make cars. You can do people, you can do sports, you can do cats and dogs or different animals. Maybe you really like the jungle. Go ahead and draw something from the jungle. Maybe you like video games. You could try making a video game character. That would be really cool. It's just really up to you what you want to do. Because, I mean, art is all about, for me anyway, it's a lot about just having fun. Because if it's not fun, you're not really going to have a lot of fun. So I'm just going to start sketching out some fish. You know, maybe this is a nice whale here in my centerpiece. We'll give him a nice whale, and then we'll start giving him a tail. And then we'll add like a fin. And maybe you don't want to have like a standard whale. Maybe you want to make it look way different than any other whale you've ever seen. You can just kind of add flippers and fins as much as you like. And then, you know, I think our whale needs some eyes while he's swimming about. So I'll give him some eyes. And then I kind of want to give him a cool little mouth. I think we should make him smiling because he's kind of a happy little whale. He's happy, swimming, and then I'll put like some little dots on their back. Because if you've ever seen a whale sharks are the world's largest fish, and they have these beautiful dots on their back. So they're a giant fish. They're not actually really a whale. They're actually closely related to sharks and stuff because they are fish. They're not mammals, which I think they're really cool with the spots that cover their back and how big they are. Okay, so now that we have our fish, I think, well, our first whale, I think we should probably add a little bit of ground in, maybe. So I'm gonna start sketching in the ground a little bit. Let's add maybe a little bit of seafloor here, and then maybe up over the side here. I'll add a little bit more, and then maybe I kind of want some nice seaweed. And don't worry about overlapping stuff. I mean, we're gonna color it in. We also have erasers and stuff. So maybe I want some cool seaweed. And I just kind of, you know, maybe I want some more leaves of it. Some shorter leaves. I think that looks like some pretty nice seaweed right there. Looks like a nice little fish or two could swim here. I'm gonna add some fish, just some little ones. Can swim in the ocean. Hide. Maybe they're hiding from that whale shark. They don't want to be eaten. They're kind of peeking out. Maybe a seahorse or two. We'll draw a little seahorse with a little tail that curls. You know, maybe a little eye. Seahorse there. Let's see what else. Well, we have some whale. We have a fish. Maybe I want to have two whales. So maybe this is their little friend whale, or maybe their baby whale. So we'll have them swimming along with the whale. Oh, I don't really like that line. Let me erase that. Yep, don't feel free to make whatever kind of scene you want, and we'll erase and stuff. Yep. And we're gonna have another smile because they're happy. They're friends. Okay, I think I kind of like those whales, and maybe another cool little coral over here. And then I think that that's about what I want. Maybe a couple fish. Just a couple school fish. Nice little school of fish saying hi. Out here. And then I think I'm gonna start blocking in because I kind of like that. So like with stained glass and stuff, they have all the little chunks and stuff, which is gonna give us a really cool color pattern. So I'm gonna just start, this is the fun part because you just gotta start putting random zigzag lines as you start to build up your fish. And these are gonna be like the sections of my window. And so I'm just gonna start putting some lines in. And these are going to be all the different sections, like I said. And then I'm going to work on coloring and lining. I think I'm going to line it first, just so I have that done. And then, okay, so I want to have a thick line. You can use, I mean, obviously for the younger students, I don't really recommend you use Sharpies because they are very permanent. So I couldn't really find a good black marker, but I'll be using this black marker. Excuse me, sorry. We're gonna just, oh no, I'm gonna use the Sharpie. I don't recommend using the Sharpie for the littler kids. Just use a regular marker, or maybe you don't want thick black lines. You can use any color you want. I'm just using thick black so it looks more like a stained glass window. And so I'm just gonna quickly go over the lines I have with the black marker. And then you can erase out the pencil that you can see if you don't want it there, otherwise you can keep it. That's totally up to you. And then you just kind of run your lines. So I'm gonna start doing my little whale friends with their little fins, and then I'll go over where the eyes should be. And then I'll do, actually I think I'm gonna color in the eyes because I want colored in eyes. And then I'll give them a little smirk. And then we'll do some of the dots on the back. And then I'll do my other little whale friend. I guess he's not little, he's pretty big. Whales are big. And do an eye. And his other little eye. And a smirk. And some of the dots. Okay, now I think I can go and work on my little coral. And these little corals looking kind of nice. Probably a nice little hiding spot for all the little fishies. Can't forget our little seahorse friend. And of course our fish. Of course our sea floor. And depending on how you color this or like what kind of materials you use, sometimes you don't have to erase the lines, or like I said, you don't have to erase them anyways. but maybe you don't want to see them. Like with markers and markers, you'd be able to see the lines, so if you wanted to not see them, you'd have to erase them. With like colored pencils and with crayons, sorry. They're a little less visible, so depending on how you color it, they're not going to really be very visible, so that will work really nicely. And I'm just kind of hurrying along just so that you can kind of see how it's all going to turn out and look, and just so I don't bore you to death with my talking. Obviously, if you don't work this fast, take your time. Don't you rush yourself. But so we're almost done with the lines, and then we can kind of get on to coloring it. Okay, so now I can start coloring. So I'm going to quickly grab my crayons. Okay, so I'm going to grab out a lot of blues quick, just so I have a lot to pick from. Some blues and grays, maybe like a bright orange, maybe some yellow, some more blues, maybe green or two. Maybe a really bright pink. Some blues. I like this green. Maybe even a purple. Okay, so I kind of picked out what colors I kind of want to maybe use. So I'm going to start coloring. So I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to make a bright coral to get better coverage and laying down for coloring. Going in circles helps you evenly lay down your crayons. So I'm just going to color in a circle, and it helps your colors come down a lot more evenly, because otherwise, if you've ever noticed, if you color with like lines and stuff, here I can kind of show you, like, yeah, you do get it even, but you can kind of see like the directions of the lines. But when you color in a circle, it does take you maybe a little bit more, but you get a lot more even coverage, and you don't see the streaks that you would get from coloring just straight. Maybe I want this just to be purple, so I'm going to quickly color in purple. And I want his friend to be orange. Maybe I want this little guy to be orange too. And then I want a pink seahorse. I'm gonna make the seahorse pink. And maybe I want the last fish to be yellow. I'm making yellow fish. And then let's see, I think I want a gray whale. I want some gray whales. I'm gonna make gray. Oh, and I almost forgot the color for the ground. So I'm gonna grab like a nice brown for our seafloor sand. And if you find you have problems coloring and keeping your paper in place, you can do like I did, where I used a little bit of tape and I taped it down. Otherwise, if you're using like a clipboard and stuff, obviously it's not going to move around very much because the clipboard has a clip. Yeah. I know that all the little whales are looking quite nice. I hope that you really enjoy making whatever you guys choose to make, and if you have any comments or questions, I'm always more than willing to help answer any questions that you have, or concerns or problems. I know it must be difficult to not be able to just directly ask a question, but I hope that this has kind of helped you, and I've explained, I guess, enough, or that you can see enough kind of in the demonstration so you can kind of know what you want or like how to do it. Otherwise, with your parents' help, you can kind of ask them, and if they don't know, you can kind of they can help you guide you through Google and stuff. There's a lot of really great tutorials and just little tips and tricks if you ever need. I know it's been helpful for me whenever I have questions that I need to know. Because sometimes you just forget stuff, like maybe you forgot how to mix a color. Or maybe you don't know how to quite mix a color because it's a weird color. I'm just kind of coloring in a whole bunch of different blues for my C to give it like a nice look. I'll quickly color in my C floor. And after I finish coloring in my C floor, I think I'll quickly color in my other last piece of coral. This green looks nice for my seaweed. Obviously for like the smaller pieces, you won't really see the streaks in them, or maybe you kind of want that. I kind of want it in my nice seaweed. I kind of want the directional look to help it move. I'm gonna just color that. So I think that looks pretty nice so far. So I'm gonna continue to keep coloring in these squares. For the sake of time for us, I'm gonna continue to color. Otherwise, I'll quickly kind of, while I keep coloring, I'll kind of show, I had a smaller example made out for us, just trying this out with the other type of fish. So like you can kind of do stuff along with the spins and everything like I did, where I changed the colors, which I think made it look quite nice. Otherwise, with the wax paper, I did the flowers, and I didn't really like wanting an outline on it, and so I kept it pretty much. With the wax paper, you get a totally different look than with the just regular printer paper, and what you do with these is you can cut them out and tape them up, or you can use a hole punch and like use it to hang it up on your window, or I mean, you don't have to hang it on your window, but it kind of can let the light filter through it, and I think that is really cool kind of a look for us. So I'm just gonna quickly keep coloring. And obviously you can pick any colors you want. I just wanted to make mine a sea theme. So generally the ocean's pretty blue, so that's why. There's a lot of blue in the ocean. But that's why I picked a lot of different colors, so you kind of get a mosaic of colors, which looks really nice. And obviously, you know, if you're using anything, like if you're gonna be cutting these out, It's always a great idea to ask for adults. It's always a great idea to ask your parents to watch you cut it out, because scissors can be very dangerous. And I would say have your parent watch you cut these out if you decide to. Otherwise, it's always a good idea to always be safe in handling scissors or the markers and crayons, especially if you know you only have permanent markers at home. Permanent markers can easily stain your skin and like you don't want to eat them and stuff, so be very careful with those. Well, not permanently dangerous. Not permanently, but at least for a while it's gonna color your skin, so you don't want to do that. And then the ink might not be the best for you. But yeah, you can do this project with anything you have laying around the house, any type of paper, so it's perfect. And you can do it any day you want or as much as you want. You can make them as big as small as you want. You don't have to make them nearly as big as the one I made. If you just want to make yours tiny, that's totally fine. Like I showed you, my other examples were much smaller. It's about having fun with it. It's not about really anything else. As long as you know, have fun. Maybe I'll put this color here. Or at least, I mean, in further lessons, we're going to be actually diving in a lot deeper. I just wanted you guys to kind of get your feet wet a little bit and have some fun and kind of get back into enjoying or making art. Since you're not going to be really doing it in school, I thought I'd give this is kind of like a nice little refresher. And of course there'll be more videos posted later throughout the year in this semester for you to follow along with. So you won't have to keep doing this, and you'll get a lot of different other ideas. I know with all of the projects I'll be doing, I'll be focusing on stuff that you should be able to find easily at home, or you know, maybe you go on a walk with your parents, and because we'll be doing some stuff that is related to nature and outside. Well, it's still really nice out, so here we are. Here's kind of my finished product, and I mean, it's kind of like a coloring page or like a stained glass window. It's kind of my inspiration for this. Otherwise you can always cut these out and put them on your window and have the light shine through. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and have a lot of fun with this, and see ya.